Today I'm going to tell you all a story. The title of my story is The Legend of Lake Toba. A long, long time ago in North Sumatra, there lived a poor man in a valley. He had no parents, but the valley was beautiful, and anything he planted there grew wonderfully. He lived by farming and fishing in the river near his home. The food he made was not special, but he never went hungry. One afternoon, after working hard in the field, he went fishing. ரொம்ப மேலே போகக்கூடாது தெரியல மேலே போங்க மேலேருந்து வரும் ஒரு வரி மேலே போனால் நான் எவ்வளோ நேரம் கவர் பண்ணுறது திருப்பி தட்டுக்குவோம்
அப்படி தமிழ் பண்ணிக்க அதை வெட்டிக்கலாம்.
போங்கடா தட்டுக்கலாம்
வீடியோ கட் பண்ணிடலாம்.
சரி வெட்டிங்க விடுங்க
தமிழ் முடிங்க, பேசுங்க.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to tell you all a story. The title of my story is The Legend of Lake Toba. A long, long time ago, in North Sumatra, there lived a poor young man in a valley. He had no parents, but the valley was very beautiful, and anything he planted there grew wonderfully. He lived farming and fishing in the river near his house. The food he made was not special, but he never went hungry. One afternoon, after working hard in a field, he went fishing in the river. Today was not his day, though after hours of waiting, he still hadn't caught a single fish. This had never happened before. Disappointed, he pulled the rod out of the water. But just as his rod was leaving the water, a fish bit it. He pulled it out and was very happy to see a pretty little goldfish on the end of the rod. The young man hurried home to cook the fish. He got home, put the goldfish on the table. He ran out to get some firewood from the garden. As he went, he licked his lips and thought about the fish, how good it would taste. But when he came back, the goldfish was gone, and there had been 3 pieces of gold. Good evening, came a soft voice behind him. The man turned around and saw a beautiful woman standing in front of him. She had long, bright red straight hair and went down to her knees, and she had no clothes on. The man turned red and looked at his feet. "Who are you, oh beautiful lady? And where did you came from?" He said, "Oh, because it seemed right. She had to be a magical." "I was that goldfish on the table. But I'm not ordinary goldfish. As you can see," she played with her hair and smiled at him. "These gold coins were my scales." The man looked at her and then went red again and looked away. He had never seen such beautiful woman before, and he was so lovely. Will you marry me, oh beautiful lady? He held his breath and he waited for her answer. He knew it was a very bold question to ask, but in stories, men always ask women like that, as bold. But the woman laughed. I thought you would never ask. Believe me, it is a lonely life when you are in a magical goldfish. I was waiting for someone to come and put his rod in my water, if you understand me. Now the man went as straight as her head. Really? Yes, but there is one condition. Suddenly, her smile disappeared and the air in the room felt heavier. You must never tell anyone that I was a fish. Do you understand? Oh, of course. The man hadn't thought of telling anyone. He didn't have any friends. And anyway, why would he tell his beautiful wife used to be a fish? But why? If I ask you, just promise me you won't tell anyone, will you? No, no, I promise. The woman smiled and clapped her hands. Well, then, I supposed we were married. Just like that? Just like that. And just naturally, as began, their marriage continued. They soon found that they were very similar. Although they had been lonely before, they only needed each other company to feel happy. Soon, they also had a son who named Samosa. Samosa grew as quickly as the flowers in the garden, and at 6 years of age, he was a strong and very naughty boy. His mother was always asking him to help her clean the house and bring dinner for his father in the field. Some days, Samosa did as he was told, but most of the days he shouted, "No!" and ran away to play. One day, as usual, Samosa was being naughty. He had refused to eat his breakfast, sang loudly while his mother worked, and now he was refusing to bring his father dinner. Why don't you do it? He asked. Because I'm cooking dinner for you, she said. But I don't want dinner. Will you? Will you be in an hour? How do you know? Because you are a human. A human get hungry and same time every evening. I won't get hungry. You didn't eat your breakfast today. Of course you will. See, I wasn't angry this morning, so I won't be hungry later. Eventually, Samosa's mother convinced him to take a box of rice and fish to his father. It was a long walk through the fields. As he went, Samosa started to feel hungry. I guess Mom was right, he said. Well, I'm sure Dad won't mind if I just eat a few grains of the rice. So he opened the box and the rice looked so fresh and delicious, and the fish so hot and juicy. He just ate a little of both, but that only made him feel more hungry. So he ate a bit more and bit more, and oh no, I've eaten all of Dad's dinner. All that was left were the fish balls. Hoping his father wouldn't notice, Samosa put all the bones back into the box, wrapped it up, and continued his way. When he found his father, he handled the box and was about to run away. But his father was hungry too, and he immediately opened the box and saw the bones. Samosa! He shouted and ran after the boy. Samosa was fast, but the father faster and quickly caught the boy. Why were there only fish bones in the box? Did you eat my dinner? Samosa burst in tears and cried loudly, saying, Oh no, Dad, it was horrible. A fox attacked me and ate all the food and said I had to keep it as a secret. Don't lie to me, his father shouted. His cheeks were bright red. I'm not lying. Yes, you are, you son of fish. And without warning, he slapped Samosa across his face. Samosa gasped, his mouth fell wide open. His father had never hit him before. I'm not a son of fish, said Samosa. He was crying again, but this time was real. Samosa turned and ran away home, and when he came into the house, he said, Mom, am I the son of a fish? He meant just a joke, but his mother's face turned into deadly serious. Samosa, what did you just say? I said, am I son of a fish? Dad just told it to me. His mother started crying silently and put her arms around him. He has broken his promise. What? You really mean I'm the son of a fish? He looked up at her face. But you are not. But as he spoke, his mother's face started to change. It looked smooth than before, and the light shone at it a strange way. After picking up the box, Samosa's father thought about what he had said. It was just a joke, but then he had slapped his son. It was a stupid thing he do. It started to rain and he ran towards the house. He could see his wife inside hugging Samosa, but just then lightning was struck and the two of them disappeared. He ran inside and looked all through the house for them, but they were gone. When they had stood, there was a big puddle of water. They stayed up all night, walking through the fields looking for them. The rain went through his clothes and he shook with cold, but he did not find them. When he finally gave up and went home, he found that all the gold coins in the house was gone. It was only then just he realized that what he has done. The rain continued for weeks, but the man fell into deep depression. He lay on his bed and listened to the rain and thunder outside and cried. He did not work in the field or catch fish, and soon the small amount of rice he had was gone. Not that it mattered, because the rain was so heavy that he couldn't light a fire and the valley started to flood. The man stayed in his house for long that he could. Surely the rain wouldn't eventually stop, but didn't, and finally he had to swim for his life, fighting and dancing waters and heavily rain. He didn't last long, though, because he will to leave and disappeared with his wife and his son. The man pulled down under the water and never came back up. Still, the rain went on and on until the beautiful valley eventually turned into a lake. When the rain stopped, people came to see the lake that had formed. Although the man had no friends, some people knew about him and his strange but beautiful wife. They knew he had died alone and miserable, although they did not understand where the wife and son had gone. Because of his sad story, they called the place Lake Toba. Tuba means ungrateful, and all time the name changed to Lake Toba. In the center of the lake was a small island, and this was called the island of Samosa. Over time, the people forgot about the man and he became just a story, but the lake stayed forever. Thank you.